Hello, world. I want to take this time to say salute and give a special thank you and shout out to all of our servicemen and women, all of our veterans, active duty, reserve, deployed, wherever you are in the world, wherever you may be. Salute and shout out to you, and we thank you. Just wanted to show our service members some love. Cerulean, thank you for joining us. Salute to you. Salute, salute, salute. Tyrone Church, hello, welcome to the stream. So I have with me here today JSHine Randoms, and the topic of discussion is going to be about the military. As you all know, JSHine and I, we both served time in the armed forces, and so we have a lot to talk about when it comes to a lot of the ignorant things that we hear people say on an everyday basis about veterans and service members and anything as it pertains to, service and things like that. So coming from the viewpoint of a veteran, we're just going to kind of dive into different topics related to that. And we're going to just start it out. We're just going to kind of flow with it. And, feel free to, comment if you have questions. I mean, we will be addressing comments, but I think it's important that we talk about a lot of the ignorant things that we hear people say, because it seems to me that I know there are some civilians who don't think it's a big deal, but it absolutely is a big deal when you have people who constantly try to diminish the value of joining the armed forces, the different benefits you get from joining, how it builds your character, the lessons that you leave with that never leave you in life, a lot of opportunities that come your way that you wouldn't get otherwise if you were a civilian or had you not joined. So, JSHine, if you could please unmute and introduce yourself. No, let me stop. I think you need to introduce. How are you today? And thank you so much for doing this for me. Thank you.
No problem, sister. Anytime you need me to come talk about something real, I'm here for you. I'm your brother.
Thank you.
And thanks for having me. It's an honor, to even be thought of as somebody, to talk about something as serious as this, because it's actually a serious topic. We're gonna have fun with it, but this is really a real thing for a lot of us. But thanks for having me.
No problem. No problem. Such an honor to have you on. And also, I also wanted to take the time to shout out 2 of my subscribers, well, actually 3, that just recently joined the armed forces. Shout out to and big up to Q Wilson and Black Rage. Those are 2 brothers that are doing their thing. Black
Q.
Rage, Q is doing his thing, and I think Black Rage, he's in AIT.
He's in Army?
I think he went. I think he did go Army, if I'm not mistaken.
Cool. That's what I'm talking about.
Cool.
Yeah. We ain't doing no sailors in here, Cyril. This is Army shit, boy. Nah, shout out to all our sailors, man. No smoke.
Yeah.
They got the big guns anyway,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Q Wilson too. Wanted to throw him in there. He's doing his thing.
That's our brother Q Wilson, man. He's actually going to basic soon.
Yeah. Shout out to them.
That's
so it seems to me that there are, and I wasn't really aware of this until because you pay more attention to certain things that are said, and you're more consciously aware of certain things after you join, and when you're discharged or when you ETS'd out or whatever. But it seems to me like after my service, I really started to see and pay more attention to the stigmas that are attached to people who join the service. And a lot of people see us as second-class citizens. They think that, it's not a big deal or we did nothing special. So, I mean, what are your thoughts about people who say things like, well, you can go to college and do the same thing that you can do in the military. You get the same benefits. You can do anything. What are your thoughts about that? Because to me, it's kind of a slap in the face and to try and make it seem less or diminish the accomplishment. And it's like you're not even looking at the full picture of of what you're signing up for and what you're getting into. I mean, of course,
Mhm.
it's not the same as college. You sound ignorant and you sound stupid. So, what
Right.
would you say to someone who would make a comment like that?
Well, I look at them like they got two heads. I mean, obviously they don't know what they're talking about, and just like your title says, this is going to be 101 for the ignorant because we're dealing with people who don't know shit, and the word ignorant simply means lack of knowledge without knowing. All right, that's what the word ignorant means. I know people use it as a slang term or the derogatory statement, but the textbook definition of the word ignorant is lack of knowledge without knowing. And you don't know what you're talking about. And I noticed when I was coming up in Brooklyn, and we're gonna get into the benefits later, but I just want to hit on this point, about people not knowing what they're talking about. I remember being in Brooklyn, and we used to always have these conscious brothers, telling you that the military is no place for a black man and all that. And my thing is, don't tell somebody what they can and cannot do unless you got a job for them. You see what I'm saying? And most people who have these conversations or these thoughts, even if they employed themselves, they can't give you a job, but they're telling you what you shouldn't be doing. What's happening is that there's ignorance and also this projection. People are projecting their own fear and their own thoughts about the military. They think it's this horrible thing. And sure, it's different in regular life, but when it really boils down to when you adjust, it becomes a regular job. It's just a job like any other job. And I would say to people like, look, get over the fear of the military or making it some other thing that we can't do as black folk because at the end of the day, you're part of the country. And whatever the country has to offer is for you. So if you want to go college, that's a route. The country offers you college options. It offers you, blue collar job options. You can take a trade. You can go that route if you want to, make a living that way. Fixing HVAC or fixing, AC units, or being a plumber. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of ways you can go in life. Whatever your passions drive you. But here's the thing: most jobs that are in the private sector or in the regular commercial sector are in the military, law enforcement, legal. You can, if you want to work in JAG, cybersecurity, regular IT. Whether want to fix computers or do other stuff in the IT field. All of this exists in the military. Pilot, you can become a pilot in the military. You're flying helicopters, flying planes. So every job you can think of that's in the private sector. Most of them are in the military as well. You know, shoot, music. You can sing songs. You can join the army band, the navy band. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of different jobs. Or you just want to be a killer, you can become one of the elite soldiers and go out and travel the world and get into firefights. So whatever you want to do is pretty much located in the military. And the cool thing about the military is that the training is free.
That's right.
And additional training is free. The college tuition thing goes up and down. The GI Bill is pretty solid, and how the GI Bill works, for our people who go to school, is while you're going to school, you actually get paid to go to school. So there's a lot of great things, and we're gonna flush out all the benefits in this conversation. But I just want to say those who talk me on are just ignorant. They don't know what they're talking about, and they going off what they think it is, and they just projecting that shit on other people.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it is very frustrating, especially when I think about the many different jobs because you have your MOS, you have your, your specialty or whatever. But I got so many different assignments within the 5 years that I was in. I worked for MWR, which was basically entertainment. So I spent a lot of
Hmm.
time doing stage setups for concerts, doing like setting up back room, dressing rooms for singers and actors who would come. And I mean, there's so many different branches and lanes to get into. I don't even think people really understand like the different career paths that you can take. And at any time, you can get orders to either reclassify your MOS or get a different assignment to work under. Like I know me, like while I was in, I got orders to I actually interviewed for a MWR position. For those who don't know what MWR is, civilians, that's basically morale, welfare, and recreation. So anything having to do with extracurricular activities like trips, concerts, um, festivals for soldiers, all sorts of things like that. I had the opportunity to work under MWR in one of their sister organizations, which is called the BOSS program, which is Better Opportunities for Single Soldiers. So we did a lot. We did a lot under the whole umbrella of entertainment, and it was a lot of fun. I got to meet a lot of
Yeah.
people. I
Yep.
got groomed a lot.
Hmm.
I learned a lot. So I mean, anything can happen, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
people think that they hear about all the combat related MOSs or logistics and mechanics and stuff like that, and they don't think outside of the box. They don't understand how wide the spectrum is when it comes to
Mhm.
your job
Yeah.
or what.
Most of the military doesn't go to the forward position. Forward positions. It just that's just unless it's all out war. We're not in World War II.
Mm-hmm.
So when you talk about places like Afghanistan and Iraq, even at the height of Iraq, there wasn't the largest percentage of the military wasn't there. You know what I mean? We have bases all over the world. We didn't empty them out. You know what I mean? It's like 140 some bases around the world. We didn't empty all the bases out just to go fight a war in Iraq. You see what I'm saying? So there's a lot of military all over the place, and everybody doesn't go to four positions. But you kind of know if you're going to go to a four position based on your MOS anyway. If you're 11 Bravo, or if you are a field mechanic, tanker. You know what I'm saying? If you're into those different artillery, you see what I'm saying? If you're into those different MOSs, then you already know what your job is. Your job is to go fight war. You the tip of the spear. So, there's a lot of options when you come into the military. You go through something called the MEP station, and you take something called the ASVAB, and the ASVAB gives you a score, and they give you your MOS options based on your ASVAB score. So based on how smart you are is what your options are going to be. Um, and once you get your options, you choose what you want to do. And if they have no options you like, you can just choose to walk away, go work on your ASVAB, come back to the military another day. So everybody treats this like it's some Green Reaper situation where, you know, when they go in the military, their lives is just not. They have no say in what happens. They don't have no agency. You don't to a certain extent, but because it's the military, but you do have a lot of options going into the military, and all your enlistments are short term. So if you don't want to reenlist, you can always do your term and get out. So I think I think a lot of people they look at the military like in the black community, they look at it as an extension of white supremacy, right?
Mm-hmm.
As white society. And they also treat the soldiers and the sailors kind of like the society treated the soldiers and the Marines coming back from Vietnam. So basically, the policies that the government has and all the war and all the orders, it's the soldiers' fault. It's the troops' fault. And I get that emotion, but it's a little deeper than that because if you really think about it, no matter whether you're in the military or not, you're part of American society. So whatever America does that you don't like, you're contributing to it. You work in America. You pay bills in America. You pump money into the economy of America. The same rich people who got vested interests in things, resources abroad, you giving them money. Last time you bought a Brawny towel or a Dixie plate or a paper towel sparkle, you gave money to the Koch brothers. They're the same ones who got interests abroad. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you're part of the system. You're part of the society. And my thing is, if you're going to be a part of America, you might as well get the most out of it for yourself. By the
And
time people, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
I was going to say by the time people turn 18, they really don't know what they want to do in life anyway. You see what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
so why are you trying to figure it out instead of sitting around working at Home Depot, wasting youth away? You might as well go ahead and sign up for a little bit until you figure some things out. And again, if the military is not for you, you can get out or you can wait till your enlistment's over and then move on. It's not that serious.
And that's what I wanted to get into next. Because that's a lot of the reason what you described earlier about the wars and things like that.
Hmm.
People always ask, well, why should veterans and why should service members be placed on a pedestal? They're nothing special. They contribute to all of this. And then they get into talking about, well, all soldiers do is drink and all they do is party. And
Yeah.
it's like especially like if you're on active duty or if you're in a unit that deploys a lot or you're assigned to a base
Hmm.
where it's going to be quite frequent, you're thinking like, I don't I don't know if I'm gonna deploy and come back. I don't know. Like a lot of times the only outlet you really have is to, party, sometimes drink, because you're
Yeah.
deploying and you don't know if you're gonna come back. And a lot of times you're preoccupied with things having to do with work. So when you do get time to yourself, you're tired, but you want to vent. You want to do things that you probably won't get to do when you deploy or ever again.
Right.
So I don't think people understand that sensitive side of it, because I think, like, especially with sailors and soldiers, they get that that label, like, they're just unruly and all they do is party and they're just not productive people at all.
Oh, so let me get this straight. So when you go to school, at Spelman or at Morehouse or at Grambling or whatever, right?
Go
The
ahead
ground,
and say that. Go ahead and
yeah,
say
I
that.
mean, so when you go into Hampton and you go into HU, and I used to go hang out at Howard. You can't tell me nothing about Howard or George Mason or American University. You know what I'm saying? So when you go on or Eastern Shore, I mean, look, you can't tell me that they're not partying in college. So you so productive and in society that you get to just party your ass off. The truth of the matter is the military people are more productive than you because you're just going to school. You're just going to school. You're not producing anything yet. You're going to get your education. Okay, which is good for you. I'm glad you went that route. But don't they party like motherfucking animals in college? Last time I checked, that's all they did in college is party. So this thing about the military, like we can't have a good time, and our off time is ridiculous. It's not like we on the field or on the line party. We party when we're off. We're no different than anybody else in human society. Now there might be an increase in drinking and partying because the context is a little different for us because a lot of us are in close quarters, right? So say if you're stationed abroad, we're in a foreign country, so we're going to hang with each other and then party with each other more. On CONUS, we might spread out a little bit more. We might even have friends who are not military. But the truth of the matter is, most of your friends in college are college friends, right? So when you get into the workforce, most of your friends are going to be people you work with. You know what I'm saying? Or people who work in your field, who might work in your building. That starts to become your friends, and it starts to become your circle of influence and your social circles. You know what I mean? So it's a stupid argument. Again, it's ignorance. It's just talking about people, and the truth of the matter is they try to put like I think actually they put the military on a pedestal somehow because you wear a uniform. You're supposed to be this cardboard cutout, and you can't do nothing wrong. Look, the military reflects society. Everybody that's in the society, I mean, excuse me, everybody that's in the military comes from the same society you live in. So you're gonna have people in the military who are responsible. You're gonna have people who are irresponsible. You're gonna have people who party a lot. You're gonna have people who party a little bit. You're gonna have people who are promiscuous. You're gonna have people who are square and not. You see what I'm saying? You're gonna have people who are shrewd. That's just how it goes, man. That's how everything goes. So if you took people out of America and you put them on a boat, you're gonna get the same mix of people, and you got the same mix of people in the military that you do in the society. It's no different.
Yeah, and that's one key point that I wanted to make too, because I know, like, when I served with people from all walks of life, people who came from families that were multimillionaires. I
Yeah.
served with one guy. His parents were both multimillionaires, but they made him join the army for discipline and to build his character. Then you had people from other countries who came here for citizenship, got their citizenship, whatever happened, and they ended up joining. You have people who come from lower income families that join, people from all walks of life. So I think
Mhm.
one stereotype is that, oh, only poor people join the military, only poor people who come from lower class societies or families join.
Yeah.
That could not be the furthest thing from the truth,
Right.
you
Well,
know?
it comes from all walks of life, but a lot of people. I mean, it is some truth to it. A lot of people do join the military because because look, when the market goes down, the job market dries up. There's not a lot of options in Iowa. There's not a lot of options in North Dakota. There's not just like there's not a lot of options in Brooklyn. You see what I'm saying? When the economy goes, downward, it goes downward, and we have an empire. You're born into an empire. America is an empire, so we have a vast military that's always recruiting. Sometimes they're recruiting a lot, sometimes they're recruiting little, but they're always recruiting. Um, And people come in for different reasons. Some people come in for patriotic reasons. Some people just come in because they want to get college. Because again, the benefits. You can get a college education by going through the military. And some families can't afford that, and some people are not smart enough to get a scholarship. So the average student, might just say, I'm gonna sign for the military so I can get some of those benefits. Because when you go to these high schools and they got recruiters there, what I mean, that's what they selling that to the youth. I mean, they're selling it at the high school. You know what I'm saying? When you go to the job fair at the high school and there's a uniform in there, he's telling them, hey man, you get these benefits. And they selling you the benefits. So you know what, we should just get ahead and get into the benefits, because the benefits there's so many benefits to talk about. So we might as well get
Yeah,
ahead and get into that.
yeah.
So I'll
We
jump
can,
off the cliff first. So
well,
since you
we can get into that, but I want to make one more point before we move forward, because
Mhm.
I think that after a person joins the military and they've joined and they've served, once they get out, especially, or even when they're on active duty or still in the service, I don't know, but you're not looked at this the society doesn't see you the same as they see a normal civilian. You're regarded and
Right,
you're respected more because you were brave enough to do something that no one else had the courage to do.
right.
So with that comes more respect. You get more perks. You
Hmm.
get discounts everywhere you go. Everyone wants to treat you like royalty. So I
Hell
think
yeah, man.
I think there's a bit of a jealousy there when it comes to that too. But I guess we could tie all of that into the benefits and stuff that come along with it too. So yeah, you jump off the cliff.
People are just selfish, man. Like, if you ain't did nothing to earn something, you didn't sign up, and you don't get it. If you want the benefits, sign up. It's not really hard. If you want something, sign up for it. Why to think you should get something that somebody else got because they signed up for it is ridiculous to me. It's
Right.
like saying, LeBron, you're in the NBA. I want to be in the NBA too. So I'm gonna hate on LeBron because he's in the NBA. No, he earned it. You know what I'm saying? He played basketball. He went through the motions. He went through the process. You know what I mean? He put up the talent. He showed the world that he was able to play. He went to the camps. You know what I mean? He did everything. He did the practices. He did all that. So he signed. He's in the NBA. Same thing with a guy you don't know that's sitting on the bench. Just a 15 man who never just suits up. He earned his way into the NBA too. So whatever perks come with that, whether it's hefty salaries, fame, whatever, they earned it. You don't get that. You don't get something. That's a welfare mindset that you think you should get something somebody else get just on GP. All right.
Right.
It's just what comes with the territory. But the benefits in the military are vast. And I was in training this past August, and I was sitting with a sister, and a young sister. She's in the she's a soldier in the army. She's about 22, 23 years old. And I was eating lunch, and she sat down with your boy and chopped it up. And one of the things she told me about was her family history and her issues with her mom, and and then moving live with her father and how messed up that was. And then she talked about how her family doesn't really respect her. She don't really like going home that much because she go home, they give her the side eye and like make fun of the fact that she's in the military and try to downplay the fact that she's in the military like it's some small thing. And I asked her, I said, look, when you go home, ask them, can any of them just go buy a house right now?
Right.
All right, that's called a VA loan. When you're a veteran, 3 years beyond, you are eligible for a VA loan. All right. If you have good credit, you get a real low score locked in, and I'm gonna run through the benefits of that real quick. One, you don't have to put no money down. And the thing about the housing market in America, how it shifted, it's not like back in the day. I know a lot of people talk about, man, I remember back in the day when one salary and the house only cost $150,000, and you paid off for 15 years, and then you own it forever and all that. We're not in those days no more. They changed the market back in the 90s. They started making these houses, these instruments that are traded on the market. So the shit goes up and down, which means the values go up and down. That means there's going to be times where you need to get up and move. And that's a hard thing for people to do, because once home is home, you don't want to just get up and move. But then sometimes you're going to have to move because that's where the market is. And that's why a lot of people end up underwater. Now, here's the thing. Once you get your house on a VA loan, and say you live in, let's pick a place, say you live in Florida, and you in a market that's stable, but then it goes down, right?
Mhm.
Or well, it goes up, and say interest rates go up, because you're in a VA loan, your interest rate is locked. And if you wanted to get from under that loan or get out of that mortgage, you could sell it to another veteran at the same interest rate you have your interest rate at. So say your interest rate is at 2.9 and interest rates shoot up to, like, say, 4.5. You know what I'm saying? Now your house is more marketable to, because you can sell it to another veteran at 2.9, no matter what the market's doing. You see what I'm saying? Also, when you buying a home, again, you don't have to put no money down, so you don't have to come out of pocket like some other people. And if you have even 10% or more as far as disability, or when you separate from the military, you get what's called a funding fee waived. So people who buy houses outside of VA loans, you pay something called PMI. And this is, basically this is more money you have to pay. That's part of the process on top of your loan. And that could average anywhere from, ten to $15,000. That goes away. That's a big chunk of money. So if you got a VA loan and you got good credit and you want to buy houses and flip them and all that stuff, you're in a bit better position to do that, because you can go get a house, no money down, fix it up, sell it. You know what I mean? So now you put yourself in a position where you not only have a house for yourself, where you leaped into the middle class, now you can go play in the real estate game all you want. You know what I mean? Based on your own, economic situation. Some people can't do it because they made other decisions in their life that didn't put them in good space. But if you're in a good space where you have extra money laying around and you're not really beholden to a certain area, you can move around, you can get a house, rent it out, you can get a house, flip it, you can do all kind of things with a VA loan, especially if you can waive that funding fee. You see what I'm saying? You can refinance your home. And when you refinance your home, you have to pay PMI or a funding fee again. That goes away because, again, you have that disability. So you can refinance your home, take out the equity, and then kick your feet up in it. So this is a situation that throws you directly into the middle class. You can go from being poor, you come from the poorest part of the country, literally serve for 3 years, get a decent job, and throw yourself into the middle class. All right.
And
Now tell me how many paths to the middle class is out there right now, from being dirt poor to the middle class. There's not many.
you want to know something? Let's not even talk about the various tax exemptions too when you're on your when you get a VA loan for a home.
Yeah.
I know, like in certain states, I know, like in the state of Texas, you don't have to, like military veterans.
Hmm.
If you have, I think, a certain percentage of disability and you get
Yeah.
that VA loan, you don't pay property taxes. It may just be for all veterans,
Yeah.
but yeah, you
Yeah.
don't.
It's for all, Texas is one of the best places to go for veterans. Yeah. Yeah. And they waive everything. You don't pay property taxes. You're not going to pay uh what's the word I'm looking for? Because you got taxes on your home, but also in Virginia where I live, you also got to pay property taxes on your cars and stuff like that too. So all that goes away. And I forgot, when you have that disability in some states, like Texas and Virginia, your kids could go to school for free. And it's in-state, in an in-state college. So, like, if you want to go to Mary Washington in Fredericksburg, Virginia, which is a state college, it's a good one. My daughter can go to school there for free if I have, I think, 50% and higher of a disability. You see what I'm saying? And she can go to school for free. And
Yeah, both
so
of my parents, as you know, both of my parents were military, and they left me all of those benefits. When they
mhm,
died, I was set. I didn't have to worry about anything. So I just went to school,
yeah,
did me some time, and then joined the military, and all
right,
my school was paid for. And I incurred student loans, but guess what? The military paid off those student loans, so I don't have student loan debt.
right. And that's a big deal. That's a big freaking deal. When you don't have debt,
Well, yeah.
student loan debt, and then your kids, you don't have student loan debt twice. You don't have student loan debt for yourself, and then you don't have student loan debt for your kids. If your kids can go to school free because you hurt your knee and hurt your back in the military, and you go through this whole process with the VA where they give you percentages, and your percentages will dictate the level of benefits you can get from your state, depending on what state you live in. It's not across the board. There's some states that give more than others, but the bottom line is that if you can your kids can go to school for free. Like, I'll give you a quick story. There's a sister I know. She was a warrant officer. She went to Iraq, and when I met her, she was on 90% disability, working on 10%, 100%, because she was going through the PTSD studies. So she gets rated for it, but every year she has to be reevaluated. But now she was reevaluated 3 times, and I think she was getting her permanent. So she's working on 100%, but already at 90%. This sister had a VA loan, a big ass house in Fredericksburg. He had two sons, one already in college, getting his tuition paid for through her benefits. No, she didn't pay no college for him. Then she had another son that was just about to graduate high school and go to college. No tuition because of her benefits. On top of that, so she's getting her retirement check as a warrant officer. She's getting about another $3,000 a month because of her 90%. Right? Her kids don't have to pay for tuition. All right. She's not paying because of that. She's not paying property taxes because of the benefits. She's not paying property taxes on her cars or vehicles like we have to do in Virginia. And then to make insult to injury, she gets veteran preference when she wanted to join the government service. So she came into the federal government as a civilian at a GS-14 Step 9. You know what I'm saying? This is wealth we're talking about. And I forgot this part. Her husband was also already in government service. He was also a vet. So he's getting whatever he's getting from the military. And he's also making GS-13 pay. And on top of that, they got a church. So you're talking about people, you're talking about a black couple who ain't got no worries. All from serving in the military. You see what I'm saying? So when you join the federal government, there's something called preferences. You know what I mean? So, like for instance, I'm over here in Germany. So if a military person comes over here on assignment and he brings his spouse, or she brings her spouse, the spouse gets gets a preference. They get to jump to the front of the line for any government job over here, so they can have the spouse working while they're here serving with the service person.
And you get paid for every dependent, right?
Yep, and you get paid for every dependent. But here's the thing. Those are called preference points, and you jump right to the front of the line. You also get preference, just 5 points preference just for being a veteran off the rip. If you have any other disabilities or any other things going on with you, you get more points, and you jump to the front of the line. So that means when you get out of the military, you don't have to retire from the military. We just get out. If you're out the military and you want to get a GS position or a GG position, or any position in the government, you get preference. You see what I'm saying? So these are benefits, man. So you got people out here killing themselves, trying forever to get into the government, applying for like 1,000 jobs before they even get selected, and then you just jump to the front of the line, regardless of what your resume look like. It didn't even get to that point yet when they're looking at your resume. They just you got your status and you jump right to the front of the line. So when we talking about benefits, you know what I mean? We talking about benefits all the way down the line that takes you from being all you did as a poor person in Brooklyn, a poor person in College Park, a poor person in Houston. You joined the military, and then you have now an avenue to the middle class, and in some cases to the upper middle class. You see them depending on what the benefits look like. And I want to know, anybody who has a question about the military, show me a path like that. All right, go to college. Okay, and then what? Get a job. Then what? The job gives you these kind of benefits. Okay, if you fall and not even fall. I'm sorry, I take that back. If you go home and you twist your ankle on the sidewalk and you crack your ankle, all right, you might have health benefits. You go to doctors, you heal up. But does your job owe you anything? No, because it didn't happen on the job. But because you're in the military, while you're in the military, no matter what happens to you, where it happens to you, it happened while you were in the military. And you keep your medical records. You see what I'm saying? You get benefits for that. Show me another job that does that.
We'll wait.
We'll wait. I want to know. When you look in an economy like the one we're in right now, the consolidation of wealth, it's one of the best paths out of poverty.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's one of the best paths out of poverty. And again, on top of that, Neil, like again, we just already said this in the beginning. All the jobs are not war fighting jobs. Some of these jobs are nursing jobs. Some of these jobs are in the medical profession. My sister right now is in the Air Force. She's going to get her medical degree in the Air Force, serving as a medic. You know what I'm saying? So everything you could think of, whether it's driving trucks, flying planes, doing shit in IT, cybersecurity, intel analysts, All these jobs exist, man. Like, look, the people in NORAD, they work in operations center. These people, they have the military people there who are intel analysts. They're not fighting wars. You know what I'm saying? They're working with generals and officers and crunching data and preparing PowerPoint slides and maps and shit. Like, you see what I'm saying? There's all types of jobs in the military because the military has a lot of jobs that have to be done so they can fight what they need to fight or accomplish their mission. So it's not just a guy with a gun and that's it. There's a lot of shit that goes on, and we have a high tech military. So that means anything high tech on a ship, on a plane, in the operations center, you're going to get experience on. That's how I got where I got. I came in on an IT bank, did computer stuff, was on the help desk stuff, and then I worked in a place as a soldier where they built this big ass operation center, and they had these projectors, and there was no one there to understand the projector. So they sent me to Raytheon for 2 weeks in Richardson, Texas, to learn how to build DLPs. And right now, I can build DLPs from the ground up. You know what I'm saying? From the
Yeah.
base plate to the front end board, back end board, illumination tool, color wheels, all that shit. I can build the deal. I had to learn how these things work because it's going to be my job now to maintain them once I get back to post. You see what I'm saying? And that brought me into the auto visual field. I'm in the AV industry. So just for a quick example of what I do, if you ever watch Star Trek and you see them people talking on big screens and all that, I build those for real. I build operation centers, conference rooms. I build all the systems, and I design them. I maintain them. I project manage the installs. We hire contractors, and your boy JSHine is standing there with paper, ordering people around. You got damn right. And I did that as a poor boy from Brooklyn, coming in with low rank, learning my trade, and then just applying myself. You see what I'm saying? This is what happens when you can go through a military track. I didn't retire. I got out early. I know people who retired and they doing really well. So you can do 20, or you can just do. I think I had a conversation with Q, and I was like, look, man, if you don't like it, just do 3 years. Because after 3 years, you're eligible for your benefits. You're eligible for your VA stuff, which is very important, and you're eligible for your GI Bill, which is very
Yeah.
important. And then you make sure you maintain your health records, and then you submit all your stuff to the VA and see what they give you. And then there's organizations out here you can pay once you get a VA status that will help you increase your percentages. You see what I'm saying? There's advocacy groups and there's also commercial groups that do it. So this is a whole thing that is out here for you, and it's yours. It's no different than the schools, the businesses. This is all American shit, man. It's yours. You pay taxes to it. You might as well take advantage of it.
Yeah, and I know I kind of eased my way in because it is nerve-wracking. You don't know if you're gonna like it or not. So I started out in the National Guard. I did like a year and a half in the National Guard, and then I put in
Mhm.
a packet, a request to go active, and it was approved.
Right.
And my career just flourished from there. And I learned a lot. I had a lot of struggles and things like that. But another thing that I wanted to talk about too, as far as one of the greatest benefits early on is when you're in basic training and when you're in AIT, you're getting that active duty, like full-time pay. So you're pretty much your room and board is pretty much paid for. You don't have to worry about food. You don't have to worry about clothing. I think they even give you a card with $200 on it when you first join basic so that you can buy things like toiletries, deodorant, your shoes, your socks, stuff like
Yeah.
that. So your pay that you're getting paid, you pocket that. You don't have to spend any of that. Even in AIT, I think I saved a good probably I was able to save hundreds because everything is pretty much provided for you, all of your basic
Yeah.
necessities. So you got your dormitories or whatever. Then you have your child, so you don't have to pay for food unless you just want to. You splurge and you spend whatever you want on weekends and on pass or whatever. But I mean, for the most part, you can save whatever you want. There's really no need for you to spend money.
Nice, don't. You spend what you want to spend. Like you said, you got a place to sleep. The DFAC or the child hall, whatever you call it, is going to be open. Morning, afternoon, and night for you to eat. 3 squares a day, and that's about it, man. And I would say this: the military, if you want to look at it, college is an option. Cool, but look at the military as like a college too. But the difference is you're gonna have to, do some extra things. So what I'm saying is that once you get out of AIT and you get the permanent party, you're gonna have to go to school on your own time. You know what I mean? But
Hmm.
the benefits are there, and depending on where you're stationed, it's easier or it might be harder. Like for instance, if you station over here, USAG, Wiesbaden, they have three colleges here, so you can
Hmm.
take classes galore. Then they have a certification center that's Global Knowledge has over here in concert with CompTIA and all the kind of shit. So you can get certified, you can go to classes at night, you can get certified by day, go to college at night. It just depends on how hard you want to work. So if you're in college and you working real hard on your degree and you putting your head down, you could do the same thing in the military. You just got to do your 9 to 5, get off, go to class, you know what I mean? Go do what you got to do, grind. And if you're on a 6-year enlistment, you do that for 6 years, you get your degrees. Not only that, you come out with a degree, you come out with 6-year experience. Now, when you come out of college, you don't have experience. You just have a degree. You
Now,
know what
the
I mean?
broke genius said I got 5K sign-on bonus for joining the Navy. That's
Mm,
amazing. I got a $10,000 sign-on bonus for joining the Army.
yeah,
When I finished basic, I got my first 5,000, and then when I went to my unit, my home unit, I got the other 5,000. So
yeah,
I came home, I was set. I was able to get another apartment. I went back to
yeah,
school, and even like when I went active, and I was stationed in Fort Hood. We have a college campus right on post. Well, we have two college campuses right on
right.
post. And so I was going to classes during the day for a good 6 months. So I
Hmm.
was able to get all of those credits out of the way because eventually, like, my goal was to become an Army nurse.
Hmm.
And I wanted to retire, but we all know why that didn't happen. But not to
Yeah,
get too much into that, but I mean, they have different programs out there. You go through your chain of command. If you have a cool chain of command, they're going to have faith in you and give you that push and
hmm,
approve those things for you to do, like, during the day. Because I was in a unit where we had a lot of personnel that wasn't needed, and I was one of them. So they were like, well, what do you want to do? You want to finish school? Like, I was like, I want to take classes during the day. So they allowed me to do that. So I would go to PT, and then after that I would go, to my my room, and I would shower and go to class. And that
yeah,
was it. And then
yeah.
after that I would go to end of the day formation, and my day was over, you know.
Right, right, right. And in certain situations, look, there's racism in the military. You know what I'm saying? So you could be in a situation where your chain of command is not friendly to you, and you might have to go the hard path. Like for instance, what you were just saying, about some of the programs they might have on your post for going to
Mhm.
school. A lot of that stuff has to be signed off by your first sergeant or your company commander. You know what I mean, or something like that.
Right.
And if they're not willing to play ball, there's officers there that can help you get aid and stuff like that too. You see what I'm saying? So even if you have to go the hard route, it's still not as hard as going straight up to college. You
Because
see what I'm saying?
you're taken care of. I
Yeah,
mean, you're taken care of. I mean,
yeah,
you're on a contract. Unless you just do something really, really stupid to get a dishonorable discharge, you're
yeah,
not gonna get kicked out. You're not gonna just, as long as you're just following orders, following commands, and doing what you're supposed to do.
yeah.
Just do what you're told. It's too easy, and
And that's the problem for a lot of people. They don't want to be told anything. They don't have that level of discipline.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's exactly what they're afraid of. You just hit it right on the head. That right there. That I ain't standing no damn formation. I don't want nobody telling me what to do. I wish somebody would talk to me crazy. You know what I mean? Well, you know what? I'll go chill in 10 years. I'll be in the house and you be sitting where you are, struggling. All right.
Yeah.
Because,
It's about sacrifice.
yeah, the thing is this, even if you're not in the military, you're still doing what you're told. You live in a society that controls everything you do. You know what I mean? You can't go to certain parts of your city or your state without people stopping you. You can't go to rich neighborhoods and just drive around without getting pulled over. You see what I'm saying? There's always going to be restrictions in life. There's
That's
always
right.
going to be restrictions in life. And, people get a fucking cell phone and they got unlimited internet and they think they're free. You know, somebody come right now and take your kids from you because we all wards of the state. You see what I'm saying? So this thing of being free is an illusion. Last time I checked, you need a passport to leave the country. You can't just
Yeah.
leave. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be authority. My point is, there's authority in every part of your life already. You know what I'm saying? So this whole fear of listen to somebody and giving into some authority or submit to someone else's authority. Look, they got rank, but you know what? That's a good thing for you to learn. That's a good thing for you to learn.
It
See, right
builds
now we have
character.
in Black society. I'm about to turn up.
All right.
You know what I mean? 'Cause what we have right now in Black society now is a bunch of people who don't want to, don't want no order. They don't want no structure. You know what I'm saying? They uncivil as shit. They just want to be wayward and do what the hell they want to do. They don't want to be told anything. They don't want to be checked anytime. You can't tell them shit. Even in general conversation, when you debate one, you can't tell them nothing. They have zero discipline, zero integrity. All right. So they don't want no one telling them what to do. And they know damn well when they come in the military, that's what's going to happen. And you know what? That's the way the world should be. Because I'm 42 years old. If you're 20 years old and you ain't been in the world, I'll rank you, fam. I'll rank you, brother. Based on my age and my accomplishments, I'll rank you. I have way more than you. If you're 35 years old and you ain't never, you never sat down at a title office and signed for a house, I'll rank you. I've done more than you. I got more than you. See, this is supposed to be a pecking order in society. Back when we had villages, there was a pecking order. You know what I'm saying? Even the villages, the so-called savages, had more civility, more order than we do now. Everybody wants to be in a free fall. They just want to do what they want to do, and that's why that's what they really the real issue they have with the military. It's a job, fam, and in the job you're going to take orders. I know you on your job talking crazy to your boss and getting your attitude and popping your gum and and looking crazy and coming in when you want. You know what I'm saying? I get it, fam. I get it. But you can't do that in the military, so you don't want to do it. And the truth is, you just don't want to do what's right. That's all this is about, Neil. It's about that and the fact that they don't know what the fuck they're talking about when it comes to, actually being in the military. And this whole notion about it not being a place for black people and all that kind of shit. Let me tell you something, man. You have to be the dumbest person in the world, especially if you so-called pro-black, to say some shit like that. What you saying? You're gonna turn the whole military, the most deadly arsenal in the world, over to the white people only? Make that make sense. They got the most deadly arsenal in the world, with all the benefits. We're gonna just, all right, you know what? I'm not even gonna take my spot. I'm gonna let a white person take that spot. So they can get houses and get training and have all access to all the weaponry. And you still in America. It's idiot talk. It's absolute idiot talk, man. You get out here and you get yours, man. All right? Any means necessary. In any way you want. If you want to go the college route, go out here, you bust your ass and you get yours. You want to jump right into the workforce, work your butt off, get out here and get yours. You want to pick up a trade, you want to pick up whatever. Whatever it is, do it to the max, man. But anything you do, and I'm gonna hang it up on this one. I'm gonna let you talk. That's the last thing I want to say on this is anything you do is going to require discipline. For you to be successful at it, it's going to require discipline. For 3 years, I sat in a building in North Virginia, catching up to these white boys in my field because they knew more than me. I was behind. And instead of partying and going out, I applied myself. So when you came by that building 9, 10 o'clock at night, you saw that light on, that was JSHine in there, playing with equipment, getting systems on evaluation, calling companies in the morning. Can I get the system on evaluation so I can learn it? You know what I mean? That was what I was doing. So I can become the best at what I do, so I can maximize my profits. And on top of that, just like you, I don't like being told what to do. I don't like being outranked. So I had to earn mine by knowing what the fuck I'm talking about and knowing what I'm doing. So I had to apply myself. So there's no way around it. So you either do it now when you're 18 and you're young and you can run and jump and be physically fit enough to maximize your time in the military, or you can wait till you're 35, 40, talking about, yeah, man, I'm going back to school right now, man. I'm trying to pick up some so I can get me some more money. See, this is the crazy nigga talk that goes out here on these streets. I ain't mean to go in like that, man, but I had to say it.
No. Keep going. I mean, I don't think you went hard enough, but I mean, that's just
I
me.
mean, look, I'm on your channel. I'm not on my platform, so I was. I'm trying to be respectful. You know what I mean? I don't want to. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to impose my will on somebody else's platform. But this is nigga talk, man. It's nigga babble. It's loser talk. That's all it is, man. It's people who don't know what they're talking about, and they don't want you to succeed, and they're projecting their failure and their fears onto you.
And that's just what I was going to get into, because when you think about the pressure and the intestinal fortitude and the different like mental strengths that go into being able to be in the military and then deal with your personal issues and then deal with everyday life and then deal with everything that you have to lay down with at night. It's a lot of pressure that goes into that. And it does take a profound amount of intestinal fortitude to be able to do that. Right. Just the mental stress alone. We're not going to talk about the physical strain that it has on your body, but the mental strain alone is something that is very honorable. I honor any person that served honorably because it takes a lot out of a person to do that. Like you're giving this country a part of yourself and a part of your life that you can't get back. Right. So how dare you on the other side look down on us for being able and brave enough and courageous enough to do that so that you can sit here and eat Cheerios and criticize people and not even understand the sacrifice that comes along with why we do what we do and the things that we leave with. Is it a choice? Yeah, it's a choice. But you weren't brave enough to do it. So you want to talk down on those who did, those who are, those who have served?
You know what's crazy, Nia? You know what's really crazy? The same people who are sitting back talking about reparations will use everything that Black people have done and been through in the country for reparations, right? To justify reparations, they're going to say we went through slavery, we went to Jim Crow, we fought in every war. I'm going to repeat that. We fought in every war. So we have a tradition of service in this country because it's our country. I'm not Nigerian. I'm American. You see what I'm saying? My grandfather fought in the Korean War, and his grandfather fought in World War I. It seemed like, and then I went in. So it's leapfrog every generation. One of us have went somewhere. I mean, well, at least went into the military. My grandfather's buried at Fort Hamilton in Brooklyn. The Harlem Hellfighters helped the French defend France. That, I mean, you talking about medals? You talking about accomplishments? Look at the Harlem Hellfighters and what they did in World War I. And they were throwaways. The United States threw them away. Like, yeah, the French, you take them. How about the Tuskegee Airmen? America was losing hundreds of air fortresses. And the Tuskegee Airmen, when they was trying to bomb Germany, trying to end the war. So the war couldn't end because they couldn't get deep enough to bomb the industry and the production, factories inside Germany. So they were trying to crush the war by destroying those factories. They couldn't get deep enough until we came along. And that's when racism helped us, because racism put us together in one unit, one, you know what I'm saying? One group, one air group. So you can't take credit for this shit. This is all us. This is all us. And then when we got into the fight, there was a stretch where they lost not one air fortress. So they were better fighters than the fighters that came before them. They didn't cut and run like some of the white fighters did. Took heavy losses. The Tuskegee Airmen did. This is your history. They were the ones that went up against the first jets that the Germans put out, because the Germans are the ones that came up with the jet plane. Took heavy losses and still took jets down. They were tenacious. They had an ethic about them. They had a purpose. They wanted to prove themselves, not just to America, but to themselves in the world. Look, man, we are part of America in every aspect. We're part of its culture, its musical legacy. Of course, part of its financial legacy, we know that. We're also part of its military tradition and legacy. If you go to Fort McNair right now, there's paintings all over the wall showing you different groups I didn't even know existed until I worked at Fort McNair, of Black regiments who did shit for this country. We turned the tide in the Civil War. The North was getting their asses whooped until the brothers came in. We turned the tide. And then when we started winning battles, that caused up unrest with the slaves in the South. So now how you fighting the war against the North, and now you got Negroes trying to escape all the time to come back and kill you. This is our history. 1812 Overture, look through the history, man. World War II, whether you're talking about North Africa, Italy, or like I said, the Tuskegee Airmen, or the brothers that was on the beaches that they don't talk about, that was putting up the balloons. and getting shot at with no cover. Do the history. We are part of the nation. We earned our right to be there. We earned these benefits, and we shall partake in them. For you to forfeit all of those benefits, look, I'm gonna tell you right now, just because you sitting on the corner and you like, nah, I ain't going to no white man's army, you think they're gonna start pumping benefits to those white soldiers? How about those Asian soldiers who just got here? How about those Latino soldiers who just got here? Those Indian soldiers who just got here? You're gonna just forfeit all of that. So everything that our grandfathers and our forefathers fought for, you're gonna just forfeit. You lazy, weak, shiftless niggas. To shit on black veterans for what? Being part of a country? Yeah, America's fucked up, okay? It's always been fucked up. You know what I mean? It ain't new. But it wasn't fucked up when they were whipping us? You know what I'm saying? It was horrible. It wasn't fucked up during the Jim Crow era? What's the point? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get it. So we're going to sit at home. We'll take welfare, we'll let our women take welfare, right? I ain't gonna change the subject. Don't worry. But we'll let our woman take welfare and lay up under her and play video games or something, right? Eat off of her. Those American benefits, those American tax dollars. But so is the military. So at least in the military, you can do three things. You can learn who you really are by testing yourself, and getting some discipline in your life and getting some structure. You can get you some benefits and you can get you a skill. All right. And you're going to have a lot of fun while you do it. Because I'm telling you right now, I had a fucking ball in the military. I had a ball. I met some of the craziest Negroes in my life. I would have never met some of these brothers, from around the country unless I was in the military. I would have never met sisters like Neon and these people that you listening to right now on these live are military people. Cerulean Gray is a military person. Mm-hmm. Captain PYT, he's a military person. Maximum Black, he's a military guy. These are all different personalities, man, that were all in the military. So it's like it's a place, a funnel that funnels everybody in the country who wants to join into, similar atmospheres, and we get to meet people you would never have met. I would never met a cool white boy that I'm still cool with to this day. Real cool. Taught him a lot about life. Taught him about white privilege. Taught him a lot about a lot of things, man. He off the bullshit. He on some real shit. You would swear he like me. You like, man, this is a white version of JSHine. About that life. You know what I mean? So you meet some cool people, and again, you're gonna deal with racists. I've had fights with white boys in the military. It happens. It goes down, but that's no different in life. I'd rather be on equal footing though. See, in the military, I was on equal footing with that white boy. So when me and him got into it in the barracks and I knocked his ass across the table, it was just me and him. You see what I'm saying? How far could they really go with in this day and age? Not back in the day, right now. With the racist bullshit, we had a fight. But when you run into that white cop on the block, you ain't on equal footing, fam. Your community's being occupied by outside men. And again, you don't have no military training and you have no structure and no discipline to deal with it. And that's why the Black community looks exactly the way it looks. That's why it's vulnerable the way it is. If a lot of Black men went into the military just for 6 years, 4 or 5 years, got some structure in them, went back to the hood, it would be completely different. Just on GP alone. So I really don't have tolerance or patience for people who talk that way. I'm just gonna point them to this video, Neon. Go watch Neon's video. I don't want to hear it. Just go watch Neon's video. Because if me and you get into it, I'm gonna cuss you out, hurt your feelings. Because you're a coward, you're talking crazy, you're ignorant, you don't know what you're talking about.
Because I see it being talked about in a lot of different corners in Black YouTube. A lot of people, they have the ignorant talk that I hear. And you have some people who are older, a lot of elders who actually go along with this. And I'm like, I know you probably have service members in your family or people that joined. Maybe they fought, in wars in the past centuries. So why would you even co-sign what they're saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not all perfect. The military is not all perfect. It's not all, but you turn what's not right and you make it work for you. Some people just focus so much on the negative that they can't see the positive side of it. And that's, for me, the part that's most frustrating, because I guarantee you for every negative thing that you can come up with, there are probably 10 more positive things, because you have you have a lot of options. As time passes, your options increase and increase and increase. So to me, it is a part of it is laziness. It is a part of being complacent and being subpar. And you don't have to be an overachiever to be great. You don't have to be perfect to be great. You don't got to be a hero to be great. But damn, if you decide to go into the military, if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. Everyone's not doing it.
Yeah. Look, man. If you don't want to go abroad and you're afraid to die or something like that in a war that you think is unjust, I get it. Okay, so don't go into the military. How about going to the police force when you know in your own community? You see what I'm saying? And that's the checkmate right there. They won't even join the police force where they live. So it's just about it really comes down to being complacent, like you said, being lazy, like you said, but being afraid to be men. To be the man in your society, you have to be the ones that carry the weapons. That should be the main focus for men. And now we have a society where women join up. So if women want to be soldiers or troops, they can do it too, because we have a society where women can do whatever they want to do. You know what I mean? And you know what bugs me out is I see a lot of black women signing up. I think there's been in the last few years there's been a rush of, I think the recruiting numbers have been damn near even with black men and black women signing up for the military. You know, it's been an influx of white women too because of the benefits. Yeah. See, women are not stupid. So at least women are coming in for like, look, I can get me a trade, I can get me a job, I can get my own thing, have me some independence, get me some benefits. You know what I'm saying? And they come in.
Yeah, a lot of single mothers joined and they got paid for each child they get paid for.
So again, here the women doing what I said earlier, they're natural survivors. they adapted to the society and taking advantage of whatever society has to give them. So whether that's good or bad, they're doing it. You know what I mean? So they'll take advantage of the military, which is a good thing. They'll take advantage of college grants for single moms, which is a good thing. They'll take advantage of whatever programs that's available to them. You know what I mean? To help them deal with their situation. They'll take advantage of the child support court, all that. They're gonna take advantage of the divorce court. That's what women do. Women are survivors by nature. They're going to take advantage of whatever situation they have out here to survive, especially if their men are not providing for them consistently. So, you know, what I would say to the brothers out here is this, man, y'all need to jump on this because this economy that you in America is football. So unless you into doing some real moves on the internet or in IT, you're gonna have to apply yourself to something. So even if you say you don't want to go to the military and you want to get into cybersecurity, you're gonna have to get like 2 or 3 certifications, man, which is gonna take some paper, which means you're gonna have to work and save up so you can pay for the certifications. You're gonna have to study. These certifications are not easy. You know what I mean? If you want to get your degree, you're gonna have to apply yourself, which means you're gonna have to study. So no matter what you do, it's gonna require some level of discipline.
It's not supposed to be easy. I think some people think that life is supposed to be easy, and you can take shortcuts, you can do all of that, but a lot of times when you take shortcuts, you get cut short.
Yeah.
You know, but it's not supposed to be. It's not supposed to be easy all the damn time.
You know what it is? They're being raised on, watching rappers and athletes. But look, a lot of these rappers end up broke. Some of them do make big money, but they see the thing about music is you're chosen, okay? And only a few are going to get chosen. So the likelihood that you would get chosen is slim. All right, there's a million rappers out here, man. That you never heard of. Even some people who are big in their town, you never heard of them. They might have a good following in their town. They can go from club to club, but you never heard of them, and you never will. Being an athlete, to make it to the top, you have to grind, fam. You have to work hard. You got brothers out here making $100 million a year, and you see them doing nothing but Instagram working out still because they got to stay on top of their game. It takes discipline. It takes pain. LeBron shows you. D-Wade and them show you. Even the loudmouth over in Las Vegas, my man Mayweather shows you. It's hard work. To be on top of anything you do is going to require discipline, man. And work and ethic, which means that you can't be out partying. So this man is out here running 10 miles, 2 o'clock in the morning. Guess what? He's not in the club. He's showing you the club after he's done what he had to do.
Yeah, but you can't grow and develop if you're always in a place of comfortability. It's
Yeah,
the discomfort that stretches you and bends you as a person.
yeah, yeah. So a good place to get you some structure automatically is the military. So if you don't know how to structure yourself and you don't know where to find it, just join the military. They'll give it to you because you're gonna have no choice. You see what I'm saying? So I think it's a good option, especially for our youth. And if it's not for you, just don't extend, don't re-enlist. You know what I mean? But you can't tell me you're not strong enough to do the military for a few years. They got 4 year enlistments, they got 6 year enlistments. Motherfucker, pick one. Sign up. If you go to college and you get a 4 year degree, come in and get you a commission.
Hmm.
Walk around and order motherfuckers around all day. I see the sisters doing that. I mean, I'm out here in Germany and there's nothing but black women out here. There's majors everywhere. Just
My,
female black majors everywhere. Just sisters. Some got nasty attitudes and all that, but I digress. The bottom line is they still in and they majors. And Lieutenant Colonel was about to pin on my homegirl that she just gave me her number last week. She about to pin on, but she's gonna go back to DC to do the ceremony because her family can't get over here.
well, shout out to 15th Sustainment Brigade in Fort Hood, Texas. My commander was a black female.
Hmm. Yeah. So
She was a damn good commander, and she did
yeah,
not go easy on us. She was hard on all of us.
yeah, and the brothers out here rocking too. We got black colonels everywhere. I think what it is, people don't see it, and I think where we're lacking is this. I think there's something on our side we can do. I'm not blaming the military, but I'm just saying on our side, what I would like to see more, Neon, is I think we need to come back to the community in uniform. Yeah, right. And if we're not in uniform, we should go with the people who are in uniform and get them to come back to the community. Because I will say this: I wouldn't be shocked. I'll be shocked to see a brother walking down the streets in the heart of Chicago in uniform. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but the hood is so crazy, so I don't blame them. But it's something that I will say if brothers see it, you know what I mean, or if they at least can see how you're living. But then you don't want everybody to know you live. So I know it's complicated. You know what I mean? But they got to see it. So now we have social media, we have YouTube, we have Facebook. I'm getting my channel, I just got my channel going, and I'm going to be showing more about what I'm doing out here in Germany, how I'm living, and everything I'm doing. I want you to understand everything I'm doing out here stems from my experience in the military. It's what got me in the game.
And if you could, please write something in the chat so people can go subscribe to your channel.
Oh, real deal, no doubt. I'll do that
Because
right now.
JSHine does a lot of content production on a lot of issues that I think men appreciate. Um, a lot of conversations that are beneficial for men. He speaks from experience, his life experience with some of the things that he's been through in his personal life. And I think that the men would find his channel very useful. So if you could, JShine, write something in the chat so that everyone can go subscribe to your channel.
I'll do that right now. Yeah, because she's telling you the truth. I'm raw on my channel.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
it's not for the sisters. It's for men. And if and the sisters want to come through, they're gonna have to cover their ears and just understand that whatever I'm saying, if it don't pertain to you and not talking about you, it's really about crafting the male mentality. So when you do that, I want to get men to stop being emotional and start being practical again and dealing with reality. So when you talk about reality, you're gonna have to point some things that's going on out here. And there's some fucked up shit going on with the sisters out here. So every now and then, I'm gonna have to point that shit out because it's part of setting reality in. So look, this is what's going on out here, brother. But then we're gonna talk about how you deal with it. All right, we're not going to just sit here and bitch and moan all day. We're not going to do that, man. I'm out. That's over. I'm over. That's over. JShine is out of that. If that's what the manosphere is doing and everybody else is doing, I'm out of that. I'm not doing that no more. I'm not sitting around complaining about what women do, because if you don't give a solution, that's what you're doing. It's one thing to set the plate and say, all right, this is what's going on with the sisters. This is the foul shit they're doing, but you have no solutions for it. And my thing as being a man, we're going to have to learn how to deal with everything. And our reality is our reality. So it's not perfect. Okay? It's not perfect. But I got one question for the brothers. Hey, Cerulean, thank you, sir. Cerulean crazy. He said, your savagery is quite refreshing. I appreciate that, brother. I hope it is. But I got one question for the brothers when it comes to the sisters. Before I ask the question, I'll say this. If you want to talk about the fucked up behavior with the sisters and the betrayal and all that kind of shit, I agree with you. All right? Fair enough. I agree with you. The question I have for you is this. Was black women always like this? All right? I shouldn't have to say anything else. We're going to have to create conditions and create standards to force them to acquiesce to what we need as men. All right? And the cool thing about it is you don't have to worry about what's in their head all the time. Just go out here and do it. Go out here and lead. Create environments. Get your shit together. You know what I'm saying? Get your shit together. Politic with other men. Create a code, a standard. And they're going to have no choice but to fall in line. You know what I mean? That's how it goes. Again, remember, women are survivors by nature. If they can adapt to this white shit, they can adapt back to their brother. You know what I'm saying? So that's my mentality on the thing. It's not about simping. It's not about kissing a female's ass. It's not about that. It's about us. Because if they were going to change it, they would have changed it by now. Because the shit I'm seeing on Facebook is outrageous. You know what I mean? Their behavior is out of line. So look at it like this. When you look at our women, you're looking at women who are manless. All right. So when you look at those videos you pass around on Facebook and YouTube, whatever, that's a manless chick. Okay. This is a group of women who are manless, and we're gonna have to be men again. That's part of being a leader. I'm not hopping the fence. I love nigga nose, nigga lip shit. I don't, you know what I mean? That's what I like.
Mm-hmm.
And I want black children. You know what I'm saying? So I can't produce that nowhere else but in her womb. So we're gonna have to correct her and lead her. All right. Don't complain and just sit out here throwing food all day if you're not going to step up and lead her. All right. Anytime you see me talk to a female, get into it on YouTube and debate with a female, I'm debating with her, but I'm also giving her instruction. I've done that on your channel before, Neon, with a sister. Because I was like, so if I think it went like, she's like, yeah, well, I'll submit that. That's okay. We leading right now. Why won't you submit?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I remember that. I remember.
Yeah, why won't you submit, sister? And she had no answer for it. You gotta check them and just make them realize the error of their ways and come up. Man, and I'm telling you right now, even though she's frustrated with you in the moment, her pussy's wet. Trust me. All right. So that's the message I have for the men. Come over to my channel. We're gonna talk about real shit. I'm not gonna be talking about pussy and what's the other word? And high octane this and and Pookie Ray Ray this and you know what I'm saying and select men that. I ain't having that conversation on my channel because there are certain other brothers out here who are good for that. My man C Boogie is really good for that, but he does it in a good way. He does it in a healthy way because he's trying to encourage brothers to be better versions of themselves. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of brothers out here who are just talking from a female lexicon and they don't even see it. They simping hard as hell. They don't forget it. They gynocentric minded as well. And we're just not going to do that on my channel, man. We're going to talk real man talk. And we're going to talk about solutions. We're going to break shit down. I'm not going to jump on every issue right away, until I have some facts. I'm going to have videos that come up a week or two after an event. Because now, once the other shoe is dropped, now we can really talk about it. You see what I'm saying? We're going to have to get back to being responsible, being calm, and not emotional or reactionary. That's a female trait, and we got to get away from that. So that's my long explanation on what my channel is about. But I want brothers to really understand that, even if you don't come to my channel, but you come to this channel and you listen to this video, we got to get back to being leaders, wanting to be leaders. And that goes right back into the military thing. Stop being afraid of having structure. Stop being afraid to follow someone else's lead. To become a great leader, you have to be a great follower. That's the saying we have in the military. All right. To learn to be a great leader, you have to learn to be a great follower. It's part of the process. Because now when you're in command, you know how to lead and how your followers should be. You see what I'm saying? You can't know how a follower should be if you haven't been one. There's a process for everything. Everything is supposed to be a process. If not, then we have anarchy. All right. You're not going to just come out the womb and jump to boss status. That's not how things are, and that's not how it should be. All right. But enjoy the journey. You young, have fun. There's a lot of freedom with not being in charge, not being the highest ranking person. The highest ranking person has to sit in the office and do reports and make sure that his boss has information. Once you pass your information up to your boss, you can go play. You see what I'm saying? So there's a lot of fun in being young and being low rank. Get your education, get your skill, get your experience, and then step out to the world complete. And you start winning, man. But don't be afraid of the military. The military is a good way up to the middle class right now. Because Trump and them ain't gonna help you. That tax cut he did just sealed your fate for the next 50 years, at least. He just expanded the pie. Obama started it. Obama created 6 to 7 million new white millionaires in his administration. You understand? And then this guy comes along and passes a tax cut that's so archaic, and all that did was it calcified wealth with the riches. So you had quantitative easing and all that shit happened under Obama, and then you had this crazy, ridiculous tax cut under Trump. So the wealth is not going to be there for you. You're going to have these bullshit jobs that pay a bullshit amount of money, and you're going to be struggling. And you got this thing over here called the military you're afraid of that can literally change your life in 10 years, forever. In 10 years, you can go from being broke, poor, to living in the upper middle class in a nice house and a nice car in 10 years in the military. So I want somebody else to tell me what the paths they got are better than that.
We'll wait.
I mean, you gotta adapt, And you know what? I'll say this, I think Cerulean's gonna like this a lot. Neon, remember when we had a lot of the last boomer, the generation? A big part of that boomer generation wealth came from veterans. You know what I'm saying? The veterans who were in World War II and in the Korean War. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, there's a whole community that was founded and established by veterans out in Portland. They're being gentrified right now, but a whole community of veterans created a community out in Portland back in the 60s. You know what I'm saying? In the 70s. So look, this has been our track, man. And most people who have good money coming to them right now in the Black community, either in the military, government jobs, a state job, you know what I mean? That's what's really, outside of government assistance, that's what's really keeping us afloat. Those families, those people who work at those jobs, those women, those men, people who are train conductors and garbage men and work at city jobs, and you know what I mean, who work at the state capitol, and you see what I'm saying? These are jobs that Black people get because of affirmative action. They have to give a certain percentage to us, but we are overrepresented in these areas too. You know what I'm saying? And we have a history of doing that. We overrepresented right now in the military. We're 13% of the population, but we're like what, 30% of the military? You see what I'm saying? So get in, man. And if you don't like it, get out. But get out. Just give yourself 3 years, keep your nose clean, and walk away with your benefits. I don't see how hard that is. It's not hard at all. It's easy.
Laziness. But like some people, I think when they're among, certain civilians, when they're among veterans, it's kind of like they feel less than. It's not that the veterans they project a lot of their own personal insecurities, and for whatever reason, it makes them feel less than. So it's not that we think we're better. You think we're better. But in a sense, we are a part of it. We had more courage than you. We were more brave than you. So in a way, in that sense, we are better. But I think people project their inadequacies onto veterans. And it's like, well, why do you think you're all that? What's so special about you? I'm great because I'm great. What do you mean? Like, I don't know. It's just because I don't know why it's been like a huge topic of conversation in certain circles and corners in Black YouTube. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, this isn't right. Like, someone needs to speak up and say something because everyone's going along with it. And I'm like, wait a minute. Y'all not going to say anything? And we have so many veterans in the Black sector. I'm talking about the men who served honorably. So it's like, y'all just going to sit back and listen to this and not say a word?
Right.
Like, someone has to stand up and say something.
Yeah, so I agree with you. And I applaud you for doing so. And if you ever need my help with it, I'm about that life. I bring a big sword, a broadsword. I love cutting heads off. It makes me feel good.
I appreciate that about you. I actually really enjoy that about you too. So
I'm like, oh shit, look on the floor, somebody's head. It's cute. Oh, somebody, there's blood everywhere. Clean this up.
yeah, yeah.
You know, just the ignorance is just ridiculous, man. You know, and whatever, whatever, man. All I say is this: do what you want, or don't do. You know what I mean? Don't do anything, but leave other people alone. Stop telling other people shit you know nothing about. Because if you don't have a job for them, if you don't have a way for them, then shut up. You know what I mean? You really do. I will give people advice all the time, but I stop short of telling people what to do. You know what I mean? Or what they, you know what I'm saying? Because if I don't have a job for you, I'm not in a position to say some shit like that. I'm not in a position to, be a killjoy, or kill your dreams or stop you from doing something. I'm gonna try to help you. Now I could be, if I smell that you're interested a little bit, I might, keep bothering you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But,
oh,
but
you
but
want to?
that's the thing, Shine.
Yeah.
Like some of these guys, they know what the truth is. They already know
Mhm.
what the truth is about the military. They probably seen some men and women younger than them
Mhm.
that were able to honorably serve and build a very great life for themselves. But maybe they're not as far ahead in life as they want to be, so they're going to discourage someone from their dream of joining the military and being
Mhm.
successful.
Yeah.
Because you're old as you are, you see these young people out here. If they have a dream, you should encourage that. That's
Mhm.
going to bring a lot of order and
Yeah.
discipline and all the other great things that we talked about. But to have see the older generation like discourage people from being productive in that kind of a way and doing something that's very honorable, that's going to set them above everybody else in society. Why would you want to discourage that?
Right.
You
Right.
know? You're a part of the honor class. You're a part of an elite class because you served. So thank you.
Yeah.
I consider myself a part of the honor class of society. I'm not like a common person. I'm not. You
Yeah.
know.
And you know what? And on top of that, if you don't feel an emotional attachment to it, and you're not really into it mentally like that, you
Mhm.
just do it as a business decision. You see what's gonna happen though, Neon, is once they get in, they'll see different. You feel me?
Yeah.
That's what's gonna happen. It's just about getting people to take that step. That first step. And my thing is, I always say, business is life, and life is business. So handle yours. This is business.
Yeah.
This is absolute business, man. Handle your business. If on paper you go to a recruiter and they tell you this is what the military has to offer, you have to weigh all of that. And then you got to go back home and you got to look at something else and say, all right, what else do I got going on that can compete with this?
Hmm.
All
Right.
right. And if this is the best option for you, economically, scholastically, what I mean, as far as getting your education, giving you some upward mobility, pushing you into the middle class. Come on, man. Go do them push-ups, man.
Hmm.
Go run that 2 miler, man. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. Especially if you in shape. You got a lot of brothers who play ball all day. You perfect.
And
Because
let's not even talk about the military sports
yeah.
teams.
And they're having a shortage right now. I'm gonna get back with that in a minute. I heard what you said, but I just want to say this: they're having a shortage right now. I forgot about this point. That's what I meant to bring up earlier.
Mm.
They're having a hard time recruiting people for the military right now. All right, and they're having a hard time recruiting people who are in shape. The reason why they're changing the the uh, the standards right now and making them a little higher on physically is because people are coming in and getting injured. American society is real fat right now and out of shape. There's actually a general, a 3-star general, who did a presentation on TED Talk. You know that show TED Talks,
Yeah, I follow
and
that.
he talks about it. He's talking about the injuries. What's happening is that they're seeing an influx of hip injuries and knee injuries. Shin splints are normal. You know what I mean? Because most people are not used to marching all day and running all day. All right. So if you don't live that kind of life, you're not an athlete like that, you're gonna get shin splints. Even people like me who are athletic, who play ball, basketball a lot, I got shin splints. You see what I'm saying? But I didn't have hip injuries and knee injuries like they having right now. So what's happening is that you got people who are like, I mean, like, fracturing their hips because they're back in America. not as active they used to be. We don't have active lifestyles. The kids don't play like they used to. They don't run around all day like they used to. They don't ride bikes all day like they used to. They're playing video games. They're going into each other's houses, and you know what I mean. They're not as active as they used to be. So we have young people coming into the military who are getting injured just from doing the basic shit, putting a rucksack on and then hurting their hips. And this is real stuff that's going on. So it's costing the military money because now that they got injured in the military, they get VA benefits for that. So this is going to cost the country billions of dollars because we have out of shape. We have an out of shape population. We have a soft population right now. Our population is soft as dog poop doodle. All right, they're just soft. They're not like we used to be. We used to play all day. Me and my brother used to be outside all day. We used to come back smelling like Hellcats. You know what I mean? We used to smell like alley cats when we came. We used to leave rings in the tub. You know what I'm saying? We used to be outside all day, all over Brooklyn, all over everybody's neighborhood, climbing shit all day, playing basketball, playing stickball, playing handball all day. These kids don't do that no more. So now they got all these young people coming into the military who are getting injured. So now they're raising the standards where they're asking you to do more coming in the door physically, and people are not meeting those standards, man. So they not being able to recruit, and plus a lot of people don't want to sign up and be under Trump too. That's another thing that. But so all our brothers who are in shape right now, young men, if you 16, 17 years old and you hear this conversation, it's your time to come on in, man. Get that bonus. 18 years old, get you a $40,000 bonus, $50,000. You see what I'm saying? Get that. Go get you some rank, man. Go get you some experience. Go get you a trade in the military. Go get you your benefits. 3 years? Come on, man. And all you got to do to stay eligible is you got to stay in shape. You know what I'm saying? So you got to, do your PT test and all that kind of shit. So, hit the floor, do some push-ups, man. Do your sit-ups. Run. You running anyway if you're in shape, if you're an athlete. This is your opportunity. You know what I'm saying? It's a pass. We got black people had opportunities, small windows of opportunities in history. One was the housing crisis in 2008, 2007, 8. If we had our shit together, we could have took advantage of that if we were ready to buy stuff. And right now you have an opportunity to come up and get some nice bonuses and get you a good career going in the military because they find it a hard time recruiting new recruits. And we got a bunch of young brothers in the hood right now who run circles around most of the people, these kids. Because a lot of these kids that are out of shape that are coming in, guess what color they are? They're white, because 9 times out of 10 they got all of these amenities. They got all of these, video game systems. We got them too. I'm just saying, the white kids are less athletic, and then they just wake up one day and like, you know what? I don't want to go to college. I'm joining the military, and then they come in and break their hip. Meanwhile, you playing basketball every day because that's part of our culture. Meanwhile, you riding bikes all day because in the hood you might not be able to afford, to get on public transportation. You see what I'm saying? So you got poor people in the hood who might be at an advantage health wise right now. I'm talking about the men, and you can come in right now and get you some real good benefits and some bonuses, man. So I just want to throw that out there because that's really what's going on in the country right now. There's a shortage of recruits. There's hard recruiting right now.
And what about the different sports, military sports team? Because you have the Army. The Army has their teams, the Navy has their teams.
Football, boxing, all of it. Yeah.
Yeah, because I had one of my recruiters. He was actually a boxer, and he did that for a couple of years and stuff like that.
Yeah, man. They got boxing teams. Again, they have music bands.
They have a whole entertainment industry in the military. Like, I don't know if you ever been to it. Maybe Cerulean. I don't know. But they have this thing in the military called the Soldier Show. And basically what it is this tour that the military puts together for all the different branches of the military. And they put together this team of soldiers that put on performances. So they do a lot of stage stuff like acting and singing and dance routines. And it's basically a musical. So it's created by the soldiers for the soldiers. Everything from team production to team setup to the performers, all soldiers. They put together a team every year, and they tour the entire globe, going from military base to military base, putting on these creative, elaborate show for soldiers.
Yep.
It's entertainment because I was going to audition, but I ended up like getting orders to do something else. But I was going to audition to be a part of that tour.
You
And
should have, man. That'd been fun for you.
yeah, I couldn't because I got assigned another assignment, but it was still under entertainment. It just wasn't the performance part. But it was like it's an absolutely wonderful show. You go, and every year they create like this booklet, like this magazine that shows all of the performers, their MOSs, what military base they come from, how long, their rank, all of that. Basically, you know, a bio of each performer. They have like even the production team. Everything is just created by the soldier for the soldier. So I mean, whatever you want to do, whatever your passion is, there's a way, you know, to do it and get that done. I mean, and entertain that if that's what you want to do. But people don't know about the sports arena in the military or the entertainment arena. There's so many different things that you can jump into, but you know, no one talks about the good, you know, the more elaborate sides because they want to discourage people from doing it. So I like to tickle people's curiosity and give like a different perspective that isn't talked about because it's not being talked about on purpose.
Yeah. And I want to read something real quick in the chat room. Cerulean, he found the general's name. His name is Lieutenant General Matt Hertling. Yeah. So look that up. Say, you know, put that in YouTube, search Lieutenant General Matt Hertling, you know, TED Talk. All right. And it's not a long video. It's like a 10-minute video. And he's going to break down the stats and what's happening in the military. What he's not going to tell you is that it's costing us, the military, a fortune. Because when these people get hurt in the military, part of, you know, your benefits is that they're responsible for not only dealing with your injuries, but now once you get out, you get VA benefits. You know what I mean? For those injuries, anything that happens to you while you signed up in the military, you know, you get benefits for. You know, they owe you a check for life. You see what I'm saying? This is billions of dollars, and it's going to cost the country a lot of money to deal with all of these soldiers who are out of shape coming in, and then there's a residual effect to it. Once you get hurt in the military, now you can't work out, so then you get fatter. So now you got a bunch of fat soldiers and sailors running around. Walking around. See what I'm saying? So it is a national security threat. We can't perform. Meanwhile, I'm watching China's 70th anniversary last night. Oh my God. I watched the 70th anniversary last night, and you know, can I show you something? Let me see if I can go here. Watch later. Let me see if I can bring this up. China. I want to show you what we up against. I want to show you what we up. I'm waiting for the ad to go away. Okay. I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna try this live on the air.
All right, go ahead. Sure.
Yeah. So, let me show you what we up against right now. All right. So, okay. Go to StreamYards, share screen. Okay. Can you see my screen on YouTube? Let me see.
No, I can't see your screen yet.
Okay. Share audio. Okay. I'm sharing now. All right. So.
There it is.
Yeah. All right. Look at YouTube. Tell me if you can see the screen.
I can see it. We can see it.
Okay. All right. So this is what we're up against right now. This is what discipline and pride looks like. All right. I've been watching these videos for years now. I've been watching Indian military. I've been watching, you know, that's what we're going up against right there. You see that? That's what we got to deal with right now. All right. That's what's coming up. There's other nations in the world coming up right now. And all we care about is pussy, food, drinking, talking shit to each other, and putting each other down, while other countries are coming up with national pride. They want world domination. They want to be the top country on the planet. This is what you up against right here. So look at this is soldier shit. I can't even knock this. I can't say anything about this. You know what I mean? I can't do anything negative about this. And he never looks like he's entertained. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. But this is what we're dealing with. This is what we faced with.
because this is their standard, you know.
Yeah, they have a level of pride, man.
Yeah.
And this is what we're dealing with, man. Look at their lines. This is pride you're looking at. And it's not just this. You got to watch this whole ceremony. It's the workers. They celebrate the workers, the people who show up. They have a nationalistic pride right now. All right? You're watching. This is what we're dealing with out here, in the world. This is what's coming up right now. This is the country that's buying up everything in America, buying up everything in the Caribbean, buying up shit in South America. They're buying up shit in Africa. You see what I'm saying? This is who's doing that right now. And they're not invading anybody. Their debt is only at 54%, which is not bad considering how much money they putting out. Meanwhile, our debt is at 109% at 19 trillion. This is what we're dealing with right here. You see this? You see them stepping?
Yes.
This is no joke, man. This is what we're dealing with. This is pride you're looking at. It's not just a few of them. This is not just a color guard. This is their military. Thousands of them. You know what I'm saying? Ready to go. Serious. Ready to follow orders. They're not afraid to be told what to do. They don't have that attitude. That's what we're competing with, y'all, as Americans. You can't run from that. So I watch videos like this all day. I can show you the Indian military. You know what I mean? I can show you some of even the other militaries in the Russian area. There's other countries, man, who are not playing right now. And then you look at America, and we look like a motley crew. There's a pride here, man. These guys right here ain't no joke. Look at this shit. Bang. Sharp.
Yes.
They're not playing, man. And they showing the world. They put this show on for the world to see. Last year in 2018, they had the same. They do this every year, but this year was their 7th anniversary. But last year was their 69th anniversary, and there was never a military parade in the history that had other militaries in it. So last year they had militaries from all over the world, and the presidents from those countries were in attendance. That was a show of power. These people are here to stay, man. They're coming for global dominance. They're trying to be number one on the planet. This is what you're up against. And I want to show you the women. I want to show you the women. I want to show you the women.
Do that.
I want to show you the women. I want to show you how serious this is. All right? They ain't no joke. Look at this shit. Look at the lines. They're not playing.
Sharp.
It's sharp as hell. I'm fast forwarding right now. There's so many.
You want to know something? You want to know what this gives me a moment of nostalgia? Like when I graduated AIT, and I was in formation. I was marching across the field. You know how like you walk past, you have your family and friends in the bleachers, and when you're walking past, taking that final walk on the graduation field, they give you the command to salute the crowd. That must have been the most proud moment of my life. I felt so much pride and honor, and I just felt, man, that was like a moment.
Look at the ladies. They're not playing. They're
not
playing, man.
Sharp.
This shit ain't no joke, man. And you think you could just go up and run up in their country and take one of them? You think they're going to disrespect their man in front of you, in front of their man? Even if you can get one of these Chinese girls, they're going to do it behind. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to disrespect. You see what I'm saying? These are people who are on code, and their men are leading them, and they're following. You see what I'm saying? This is a society that's not playing, and their women are down for the cause. You know what I'm saying? And they're soldiering, and they're part of the society, and they're doing their job, man. Look, China's on the rise. Matter of fact, they're here. I'm not even gonna say they're on the rise, man. I'm not even gonna say they're on the rise. This shit is ridiculous, man. This shit is so impressive. You know, it's just impressive as hell. You know, they're not playing. Just waves of this shit. Look at this shit. Look at it. Look at this. Look at it. More women. So all my sisters stepping and shit. Can you do this?
Yeah, they're sharp.
They're not playing, man. They're not playing. And they put on for the whole world. And then and after this, they're gonna show you all their weapon systems and planes, you know what I'm saying? And then they do a big thing with a parade for the workers and you know, respecting their workers and everybody, because look, they've been on a plan. They turned their country into a factory country, and and built up their military during the Cold War. Because remember, after World War II, this country was defeated. Japan was occupying them. This country was occupied by Japan. Look at them now, 70 years. So anyway, I can watch this shit all day. How do you stop sharing this shit? Here we go. So I just wanted to show some cool shit that I watch every now and then, to show you that that there are other people out here that's not playing, and we're not even getting in the game.
And we're got men in our own community discouraging this type of greatness.
Yeah. They don't want it. They don't understand the level of discipline it takes to get to this level. This is building. They built up. Look, I'm gonna say this one more time. China was poor and defeated. All right. They were being occupied by Japan. And if it wasn't for Japan attacking us, they'd probably still be occupied. All right. Japan was getting their ass for hundreds of years. All right. So, when I see stuff like this come up, I sit in my house and I lean back in my chair and I just watch these ceremonies. It's like 2.5 hours, and I just have it playing while I'm working on something else. And I'll just look and I'm like, these people ain't playing. And then I'll go online and I'll see some shit that India is doing. I'm like, India's not playing. They got the South African, they got the African countries there and dignitaries. Everybody's making moves. And what are we doing? We don't even want to join the military. Neon. We can't even get brothers to join the military.
Because when you do something like that, when you set higher standards for yourself, the expectation is then set higher as well. And a lot of people, they're too lazy to do that. When you do something like join the military, you're then going to be held accountable to uphold a certain level of integrity, self-discipline, respect, honor, courage, all of that stuff. You have to then shift your entire way of living, being, thinking, the way you carry yourself in the world. More is going to be expected of you. And a lot of people can't handle that they see that as pressure. And it's not pressure. Pressure is going to be a part of the process, but that is just enriching your life, enriching who you are, enriching your family, uplifting your friends, uplifting your communities. How many conversations are we having about that? But y'all want to sit online talking about select and non-select and who women are sleeping with, hair weave and makeup. Like, really?
Yeah.
Really? Is that the focus of building?
Yeah. And here's the thing. You don't have to have what I just showed you right now, but you got to start somewhere. See, what black men got to start getting back to, and let me put my conscious hat on for a second. My brother, peace, my brother. See, back in the day, we built pyramids, my brother. Let's talk about the pyramids. Pyramids is when you had a black man who was a stonemason. And he started working on the pyramid along with the other masons and builders. But he might not see it completed. While he's doing that, he's training his son as his apprentice, and he's teaching him how to be a mason. But he's not going to see the completion of it, but his son will. You see what I'm saying? That's pyramid building. Pyramids take a long time to build. I'm talking about actual pyramids. And people who started them didn't always get to see them completed. And that's exactly the same people who built this country. These white masons who went into North Africa, stole that type of thinking and called themselves masons and came over here and built America. And America is not supposed to last just their lifetime. It's supposed to last beyond that. So using constructs like capitalism, the ownership society, and this thing called white supremacy, we're going to maintain our power for our great children, grandchildren, our great great grandchildren. You see what I'm saying? They had I'm not saying it was right. I'm talking about the way they were thinking. And black men and black women, we got to start thinking the same way. And it can start with you just signing up, building your life, throwing yourself into the middle class so you can have the resources to have a good family, a strong family. You see what I'm saying? And you have that now. You're a block in the pyramid of black society. And then I'm a block in the pyramid of black society. And then another sister and her family is a block in the black society. You see what I'm saying? And then we start treating each other better and start respecting each other and start having a code of conduct amongst each other. then that pyramid will have integrity. And then we'll pass on what we know to our children and they'll complete the pyramid. That's how we got to start thinking. We got to become pyramid builders. I'm not going some hotep shit. I'm just talking about, think about the thinking. The same people like George Washington, who's wearing that apron, playing Mason. They all playing, white Masons play Mason. They playing Mason. They got the knowledge from North Africa. They got it from black people. And they use the same constructs, the same type of society structure, and they came over here and they created America. That's how it became a country. Look at all of the symbology on the dollar, on buildings in DC. It's all there. Look, there's an obelisk called the fucking Washington Monument that tells you everything you need to know. What the fuck do Europeans know about obelisks? All right. So there's nothing to hide about it. They took the mindset of pyramid building and they just applied it the fucked up way. Of course they can because they're Europeans, so they did it the fucked up way by oppressing people and and exploiting people and murder, because that was their way of doing things. That's how they understand the world. But we didn't understand the world different because we're descendants of the original people of the planet. So our mind works different. At least it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
We're not supposed to be linear in our thought. Us versus them. You or me. Right, wrong. No. There's some right and there's some wrong. We're more nuanced. We're supposed to have a more circular mindset. But also, we're not supposed to be narcissistic and so stuck in instant gratification. And that's what they really want, Neon. They want instant gratification. That's why they won't sign up. Yeah. They want to go out here and keep playing. They want to keep going to the same bullshit club, showing out, feeling themselves. You know what I mean?
I don't think that's being serious about life, though. Like if you're a podcaster, if you're a content creator, to get on a podcast and go live every morning or every evening and talk about your money and what you've built. Okay, give me a formula. Everyone is telling people what to do, but no one's really saying how to do it. Yeah. You can sit here and brag about your properties, brag about your money, brag about this, brag about that. But what formula are you giving people and how are you telling people to implement it?
Yeah, right. You saw what Cerulean Gray put in the chat room and read what he said. China remembers the 100 years of shame imposed by Britain and Japan. They didn't whine. They didn't blame the women. The men got organized, and this is the display of their resilience and sacrifice. And that's true. That's the fact. They sacrificed their people. They did what they had to do to build society. Remember they had that rule with the men. That's why they had, they had more men than women, because they were choosing, who can live and die, because they wanted builders. They wanted manufacturers. They didn't want women. You see what I'm saying? They had a plan. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's right. But I'm saying these are people who say, you know what, enough's enough. We're going to build our society as men. And then we're going to be on top of the world. And they're not fucking around. They're dead serious. They don't care about nothing else but China. And then based on what Cerulean just put in the chat room, China remembers 100 years. You can't remember the last 100 years of your life? I'm talking to black men. You can't remember your last 100 years in America and what you've been through? So at what point do you say enough?
Yeah.
Oh, the women are fucked up. They wayward and they hoes and all that kind of. Okay. All right. I agree they are. Okay. Now what? Oh, hop the fence. That's the answer. Mm-hmm. Save yourself. You're a coward.
That's the answer for everything. Come on.
You're a coward. I'm not hopping shit. I ain't forfeiting nothing. I ain't forfeiting shit. I'm going to sit here and check this bitch. That's what I'm going to do. We're going to correct this shit.
See,
I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not giving up. I'm a soldier for real.
That's why I can appreciate your masculine approach to these types of conversations. Mm-hmm. Because you do offer, in my opinion, you and Cerulean, when it comes to topics about solution and policy and stuff, you have more of a masculine approach because it's not whiny and bitchy. And that's
I'm not waiting for her. Everything I'm hearing out here is basically waiting for her to correct herself. Mm-hmm. You correct her. You know what I'm saying? But niggas is afraid of their women.
Yeah.
They are. They're afraid. Look, I get it. Some of women are wild as shit. I get it, man. And some women just not. But look, here's the thing. You got to pick and choose your battles. Some women are just not worth the fight. Some women are just too far gone, right? Just like some dudes are. They're too far gone. So don't worry about it. Let it go. Move on and find the ones you can save, but don't run. Don't pick up and run. I'm not. You telling me after everything we've been through in America, out of all the suffering, all the pillaging, all the disrespect, the shame, the minstrel shows, just the fucking humiliation alone, all the chain gangs and vagrancy laws and everything that we've been through. You gonna just let that go? You cool with that? Our women took feminism. Okay, they did. They did. They took on a lot of bullshit and they became our enemies in a lot of ways. Okay, but who gave it to them? Okay, all right, so they got feminism, they got all these fucked up ideas and ways. Where in America? Where in an environment they live in? So we need to change the fucking environment. That's all it means to me. That's all it says to me is we got to change the environment. That requires hard work and leadership, and men are scared to do it. I'm calling you out. I don't care if you hear my voice. I don't care who you are. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm wrong. How? How can you call yourself a man and you want to cut and run? I'm not telling you who you can sleep with, who you can be with. Look, travel the world. You find you a badass Asian girl who makes you happy. So be it, brother. But out here promoting this shit, I'm not promoting this shit. If you're out here promoting hopping the fence, you know different than Kristen Carrington. How about that? How about that? If you're promoting hopping the fence as a black man at this point, you're no different than Kristen Carrington. You tell me how you different. I'm not telling you what to do. If a sister go out here and you go to a school and you meet your cool white boy and he's really cool, and that's proximity. You meet somebody, right? But if you out here looking for a zaddy on purpose, like fuck black men, go to hell, bitch. If you out here looking to hop the fence because go to hell, nigga. I'm not cutting and running. I'm not leaving this shit, man. My grandmother, my great grandmother, my grandmother, my grandmother's grandmother suffered in this country. Nah, man. Nah. He can't have it. They can't have it. I'm not letting this fucking shortwave ain't shit white boy have it. No. That's soldier talk. We lost a lot of battles, man, but the war ain't over. If you're still breathing, the war's still on. You know what I mean? And as far as I'm concerned, man, we got a lot of work to do. And I want that fight. I want to pass that on to young brothers. I want to raise young brothers and teach young brothers to do what I'm doing in order how to be whatever, or give them advice. And I want them to see them take it to the next level. And then I want them to teach the young men coming after them. Let's pyramid build. You cutting and going to do your thing, man. Like, what's that about? I don't even get it. Like, how does that help black men? How does that help black children? How does that help our black future? It don't. So and these are men talking about, so hold up, let me get this straight. So the women out here mad, right? Let's talk about this real quick. Let's work this through real quick. I'm not even going to harp on this too long. So the women are complaining about black men ain't shit, right? All right, they out here doing that. They've been doing it for 40 some years. Real disrespectful, greasy, like, okay. All right, so they out here doing that. And then now they pushing, swirling, and hopping the fence and trying something new and all that shit, right? Okay. All right. So now you want to do the same thing. You bitch-led nigga. You bitch-led, fam. You complain about the bitches, but then you're doing exactly what the bitches do. You calling them bitches and you saying this is what the bitches are doing, but you doing what the bitches do, so that means you're bitch-led.
Well said.
You know what I'm saying? Look, it's not fair. You want that day when mama comes along and hugs you and says, I'm sorry for everything I did to you, you beautiful black man. It's never going to happen, nigga. All right? That's just war. All right? You move on. Get shit done. You don't do it to get a fucking pat on the head or get some pussy points or get a hug. You got a lot of weak niggas out here, man. You know what I'm saying? And they've been taught wrong. All right? I would never tell a brother to be a simp. Ever. I tolerate no fuckery from a female. Period. Zero zilch. You heard me. I tolerate no bullshit from a female. But I'm not fucking abandoning my race, nigga. You crazy? Because of what females do? Let's unpack that. I'm not doing it. Let's handle business, man. Let's handle business. You know, and if she don't want to fucking get down, she can go about her business, and they can all crowd around the Pookie and Ray Rays they want to fuck, and then let them be happy, man. Trust me, there's gonna be a lot of women who come along with this shit because they waiting for us to lead again. They want us to, because if they wouldn't, they wouldn't be joining the fucking military themselves. All right, because even the women in the military gravitate to the big dogs on the yard. Real talk.
That's right.
When I was fucking the shit out of who? When I was in the army, I was in fucking Augusta, Georgia, fucking black women in the army. We was some niggas on Gordon. All right? We was some niggas on Gordon. Think I'm bullshitting. Before we wrap this shit up, I'll give you a photo.
Go ahead. Go right on ahead.
I'll give you a photo from Gordon. Where that shit at? Hold on, man. Did I delete it? No, I didn't delete that shit, did I? Give me 1 second. It's on a different computer.
Take your time.
Give me a second.
No,
Give me a second. I'm going to go to my email real quick because it's in here. All right, in here. JPix. I'll give y'all a photo. I'll give y'all a little something. All right, so we're going to download this. All right. And then we're going to go back. We're going to download this. Let me show you how it looks to be in the military. And if I think you was on C Boogie's channel, I showed some of these pictures before.
Yeah.
All right. But these are my army days. You know what? I'm going to show 2 pictures. I don't got time to download all this shit. But here we go. Let's see if this opens up. Then I'm going to share my screen.
Okay.
All right. Hold on. And let me open this one up. All right, cool. All right, so we go back here. We share the screen real quick. And let me show you what Army life looks like since you're so scared of it. All right, let me show you what Army life looks like. All right, let me bring this down. Can you see that, sister?
Absolutely. Let me get that in there. There we go.
You see that? Can you see that?
Yep.
That's Army life. That's Army life, brother. That's Army life. That's me on Gordon right there. I'm in the middle with the goggles on my head. Yeah, it was the 90s, nigga. You can laugh. It's all good. But that's me in the 90s with the brothers. You know what I'm saying? Holding it down. That's me in the middle. That's Army life. Since you scared of it, we off. We not in uniform. We chilling. We doing us. You feel me? Blow it up so you can see that. That's Army life. That's the homie. That's the whole New York crew in Georgia holding court. And you see me right in the middle, leading like I've always done. So, so I'm gonna stop sharing. I just want to show a little bit, you know what I mean? Because look, this is not hard, fam. This is not hard. It's not hard to get out here, and do your goddamn thing, man. It's not. It's not hard, man. You just scared to be a man. I really don't want. Look, I would tell sisters in a minute to join the military because they have no other options. Because it's a good look. It's not good on their bodies though for a lot of them.
Right.
I'll give them that real talk because the women's body is not built to be in combat boots and carrying rucksacks. It's bad for her ovaries.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they go through a lot more. But I can't call it because I see a lot of females going through it.
Yeah.
Like, fuck it, because I want to get to the bag. I want to get to a better life. So how you got your sisters out here wanting to join the military for a better life, but you not?
They did what they had to do.
They doing exactly what they had to do. They looked at that paper, just like the recruiter said, and looked at those benefits, and they said, oh, shit, I'll wear that uniform. You know what I'm saying? And they up in there chilling. And you could be too, brothers. And your woman will respect you more. You will have more. That's right, Shavil. We need to bring back excellence, man. And that's what I personify. I'm one of the best at what I do in the entire Department of Defense. I ain't no fucking joke. Well saw that. That's why I know some of the top generals. I mean, I'm that guy for real in real life. And I know it can be done. And you know what I'm saying? Because where I come from a place in Brooklyn. When you turn the lights on at night, the counter moves. You understand? Roaches everywhere. I come from Brooklyn in the 80s, man. I was raised in the 80s, crack 80s, poor. Fuck spam. I was eating potted meat, nigga. Plastic on the windows. Putting pots on the radiator so you can create steam to make the house warmer. That's what I come from. Wash racks. Hanging your clothes outside on clothespins. Nigga, you even know what a clothespin is? Brothers, come on, man. We got to get off the bullshit. If I could climb out of that and have a house in Virginia, land in Arizona, have part ownership of a house in North Carolina, and be sitting in the goddamn penthouse in Tunnestein, in the Tunnest Mountains in Germany, all because I decided to go in. Had enough resources to get custody of my daughter when I needed to. See, everything that bothers you in life, man, it's about positioning. It's about having the resources to get what you need done. And if you don't have the resources, you can't get shit done. So when she go to court and they got a whole apparatus to help her, and if she's trifling, you can't do nothing about it because you have no resources. But guess what? JSHine did. And my daughter's sleeping right down the hall, right here with me in Germany, in Tunnestein. You understand me? I'm about business, fam. I'm about being a soldier. I'm about my people. I'm about our future. I don't have a now mentality. I have a pyramid mentality. I want us to be great again. So I know who we used to be. I know the history, and I know what these people who are in charge are now. I know what they're not, and we have no business being underneath them. But we can't do shit as individuals. So you go ahead and get you a Lee Chung, and and act like you're doing hurting the sisters and all that. All you're doing is hurting us. Because if you a strong brother, I needed you. That's what I needed you to do. And if you're going to go get you a Becky or a Chung Lee, bring your ass back to the community and still contribute, nigga. You see what I'm saying? Either way, there's no way out of this. There's no way out of this, man. We got to do what's required. And our situation is fucked up right now. So we need more policemen. We need more soldiers. You know what I'm saying? We need more. We need doctors too. We need, we need engineers. We need more plumbers. Look, there's certain jobs that's just not going to go away. You know what I mean? It's just certain jobs that's not going to go away. You know what I mean? If you can do HVAC and plumbing, dude, you write your own ticket. So look, so whether you want to go the military route, whatever route you want to go, whatever it is, just fucking apply yourself, man. Because no matter what you do, if you're going to be successful, you're going to have to buckle down. You're going to have to sacrifice the club. You're going to have to sacrifice pussy. You're going to have to stop playing, bro, and get out here and get some work done. And the cool thing about the military, and I'm going to leave it on this, is that I just showed you pictures where we were still having fun. You saw that chick. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you saw her. Yeah, I still remember her too. She had two big-ass Rockwallers. But I digress. The bottom line is this. Y'all can do your thing out here if you want to. And it's going to, whatever you do, again, it's going to require discipline and focus to get it done anyway. So you might as well just sign up. All right, so you can get you some guaranteed benefits. And that's all I really have to say, man, because I'm going to just keep going in circles. You got anything else you want to add to this, Neon?
I just want to read Cerulean Gray's comment. He says, I would tell Black women to join the military simply off the strength that I know how weak these ninjas they have to deal with. At least 2/3 are shaft and shit ran over by them until they get it. Mm-hmm. I mean, I can't argue with that. I mean, I think that a lot of women get a lot of flack for being successful or doing what they had to do to establish their place in society and to navigate through the world. But the only people that are criticizing them for that are weak-minded people. Yeah. Like that, as an adult, male or female, you want to put yourself in a position to where you can provide for your family or provide for yourself or build your life so that when you do meet someone who you can build a life with, at least, you've already established your place in adulthood. That's a part of being an adult. So when I see women getting flack for being in positions of authority or having, been so successful and having degrees and stuff, like the only person or man that will complain about that or see that as a threat is a man who doesn't have anything or a man who feels weak. You shouldn't even be comparing yourself to a woman.
Yeah, at all.
But, yeah.
Matter of fact, I'll tell it a step further. You shouldn't be talking about nothing. You have nothing to talk about until you get your shit together. We got to get back to having some goddamn structure and some pecking order. Like back when I was coming up, You couldn't even open your mouth and talk about certain things unless you know you lived it. We throw all kind of shit out the window with this, with this social media shit. I don't want to hear from people who ain't experienced nothing. If you don't know nothing about it, guess what? Because if I don't know something about something, Neon, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
That's called integrity.
Mm.
And there's no integrity out here right now. You know what I mean? There's none. Motherfuckers just projecting their fears and they bullshit on other people. You know what I'm saying? And look, like I said, man, it's true. All right? It's true. The women are trifling. They fucked up. They hateful. They swirling and they being disrespectful. I get it. What are you gonna do about it? That's what I want to know. I want to know what we're gonna do about it as men. I can't do it by myself. My life is good. Ain't no bitch disrespecting me. I'm cool. I can just go off and do me. You know what I mean? And you know what I'm saying? I could be single forever and have a good time and just live my life. I don't want for nothing. My fucking TSP is popping. I know I'm good when I retire. You see what I'm saying? So my cause now is not about me. It's about us. It's about the collective. I still got a daughter I'm finished raising. I got a kid I got to finish raising, so I'm dedicated to that. But I really don't have no dog in the fight if you really want to go there. But I do because I have a dog in the fight of the future.
Yeah.
I'm good, but the future's not unless we get our shit together. So that's where I'm coming from. I'm looking at the future because I got a kid, and I presume I'm going to have grandchildren, and I don't want us to be in the same shape where my grandchildren are born. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's about pyramid building.
Trinity, I believe it's 35 for Army. And for the Navy and Marines, it's like 32 or 34.
Oh, you could be that old to go in the Army? I didn't know that.
I think so.
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Unless it's changed.
Wow. How you going to get 20 years out of it? Well, I guess.
I think the oldest you can enlist is it 42 or did it change or?
I didn't know that.
It may have changed. Yeah. Don't quote me on that, but
yeah. But anyway,
people have no excuse at the end of the day.
Hey, sister, it's like 1 in the morning over here, so I'm gonna have to shut it down. I'm sorry, I have to go. We've been on here for a while anyway,
yeah,
but
well, I'll take that as your closing thoughts. I do want to give a special thanks to JSHine Randoms for joining me, for doing this for me. I really appreciate it. Thank you for having my back. And, this has been great, a much needed conversation, something more productive. I appreciate your masculine approach and your masculine perspectives. And I just want to say thank you so, so much. And thank you to all of the viewers and all of the chatters. And we will see you on the next one. Peace out, y'all. Be well.
Peace, family.